Hey guys, how are you? This is Belle. Welcome to our Fast Dry Dipping Powder live stream. And today we're going to show you the 6 colors, and they all come from our G641 Fast Dry Dipping Powder kit. Well, let's check out the colors first. Well, here are the 6 colors. As you can see, the first one is the natural powder. You can use it as the base or as the cover. Well, the second one is the solid white. You can use it for French nails. Well, and then we got 2 French pinks, the light pink and medium pink. You can also use it for French nails. Well, finally, we got the 2 solid colors, solid pink and solid purple. Well, and then let's check out the dip glues, the 4 exceptional dip glues. Number 1, base. Well, for our base, it's very easy to apply, just like a regular polish. Well, number 2, the activator. You only need to apply 1-time activator in the whole process. Number 3, the top. It's very easy to apply, and it can dry within 1 minute and double shiny. Well, finally, we got the brush saver. Well, you can use it to clean the brush when the powder sticks on it. Well, and then let's check out the color chart for these 6 colors. Well, you can see this one is the clear powder. And we got the 2 French pinks, 1 French white, and 2 solid colors. As you can see, it's very natural and elegant. Well, finally, today we're going to show you how to do these ombre nails and the decals. Well, we're going to use the solid pink and solid purple and the French white to do this beautiful nail art. Well, so let's go for the tutorial now. Well, and for this kit, G641, we are having the limited time blending due on 25th of August from 3:35 p.m. to 9:35 p.m. I think it's just right at our live stream time. You can just, if you are watching our live stream, you can directly go to the Amazon and buy this kit. Well, so now let's go for the tutorial. Well, let's take out the bomb prepad. It's used to dry your nail bed and remove the shine of nails. And actually, we have done all the preparation before getting started. Well, I think you have to do the preparation, like pushing back the cuticles and cut off the dead skins and the cuticles around the cuticle area. I think it's a very necessary step. It can make your powder adhere to your nail plate well. Well, now let's take out the solid white. This is the solid white. The last one is the natural powder, I think. Well, let's use the pink color and the solid pink. Well, before applying the powder, we have to use a nail stick to stir well the powder. Remember that. Well, first let's apply the base, the first layer of base. As you can see, the cat is very easy to open. But if you receive one that is not easy to open, you can just put it in a warm water for 1 minute. Well, make sure you brush the entire nail from middle left to right. Brush evenly. Well, then we use a small brush to sprinkle the powder on. Just tap, 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 tap it off. Well, now we're gonna use 3 colors to make the ombre nail. Well, then we apply the solid pink. Well, finally is the French white. Well, for doing this ombre, you have to apply as soon as possible as you can. Well, use a brush to brush off the excess. Well, then we start to apply the base again. Well, make sure the base won't touch the cuticle area. Well, let's repeat the step. Use a brush to sprinkle them. Just tap, 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 tap it off. Just sprinkle them very randomly and to make the ombre blending very natural. Well, then finally is the solid white. Well, use a brush to help you to tap off the brush around the cuticle area. Well, now we need to apply the base again. Because actually when we use the brush, you apply much less than we did before. So I think it's better to apply 3 layers when you are doing the ombre nails. And like that, the thickness is very good. Well, repeat the steps. Use a small brush to sprinkle the powder on your nail plate. And you can also select any colors you want. Well, finally is the solid white. Well, use a brush to help you tap off the excess powder. You can see the powder won't stick on the brush because our powder can dry it itself within 30 seconds. And then we're gonna use the buffer, using the polished one, the fine sign, to find the nail surface to make the ombre blending looks very natural and make the nail surface look very smooth. As you can see, our powder can dry itself within 30 seconds and no need to apply any activator. Well, then we're gonna take out the decals. You can also select any kinds of decals you want. Well, now we're gonna select the one with the English words, the tam. Just put it on and let it well stick on the nail plate. The decals is sticky now, so you can just put it on and put whatever you want. But just make sure it is smooth and well stick on the nail plate. Well, then we're gonna select the second one. The beach. We're gonna put it on the right side and let both look combine well with each other. Well, here we need to apply the base again and apply the clear powder on to protect the nail surface. Well, make sure every time you brush it evenly, do not touch the cuticle area. Otherwise, the powders will stick on other area and cause the lifting problem. Then we dip into the clear powder. Tap it off. Well, use a brush to help you. Tap off the excess. Well, then we come to second nail. Well, we're gonna do the same design. Just repeat the steps. If you're the first time to get in our live stream, you can also watch this step. Just follow our steps and our tutorial. Well, just sprinkle the powder randomly. First, we need to apply on the top. And then we come to the pink. We're gonna use the 3 colors to do the ombre. It's not 2, it's 3. You can just sprinkle them randomly. Well, use a brush to help you. Tap off the excess. Well, then we apply the base again. As you can see, our base is very easy to apply, just like a regular polish. So it's very handy and easy for home users. You can use it very well. Then we come to the second color. Finally is the French white, the solid white. Well, tap off, brush off the excess. Here we need to apply the base again and create 3 layers. Because when we are doing the ombre nails, we just use a small brush to apply the powder on. It's not like just dip into the powder and let powder stick on the nail plate. So I think it's kind of stink when we are doing the ombre. So it's better to create the 3 layer thickness, I think. And make the ombre blending looks very natural. Just tap it off. Use a brush to help you. Brush off the excess powder. Well, as you can see, 3 layers is the color is very full, and we're gonna use a buffer, the polished one, the fine side, and you can use that side to buff the nail surface to make it look very natural and smooth, and make the ombre blending looks very natural. Just buff slightly. Well, then we just select the decals. We're gonna use the same as the last one. Well, just put it on the left side of the nail plate and let it weld stick on the nail surface. Make sure the decals is very smooth when you put it on. Otherwise, it's very too cheap and take it off. And then we're gonna select the second one to put it on the right side of the nail surface. When you are doing the ombre nail, and when you sprinkle them, the powder on the nail plate, you have to apply as soon as possible you can. Well, just put it on the right side and let it well stick. You can use your hand to press it and let it well stick. Well, and then we're gonna apply the base again. Here we need to apply a clear powder to cover and to protect the nail surface and let the decals well stick on the nail plate. Well, brush evenly. Do not touch the cuticle area. Well, dip into the powder. Tap it off. Use a brush to help you. Brush off the excess. Well, here we are done. The ombre, the 3 colors ombre. And then we come to the top finger. Well, just make sure every time you brush it very evenly and apply the base on the entire nail. Make sure the every part you have the base on so that the powder can stick on the base. Well, just tap, 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 tap it off. Use a small brush to help you. You can also choose 2 brushes if you don't want the powder, the 3 colors mixed out with each other. Well, then we apply the second layer, the base, from middle left to right. Make sure you don't apply too much base, otherwise the powder will be very easy to get clumpy. Well, then we come to the pink color. Just sprinkle them and just tap, tap, tap. Finally is the solid white. Well, use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Well, then we come to the third layer. As I said before, we suggest to create 3 layers, like this. Just using a small brush to sprinkle the powder on. As you can see, the ombre blending is very natural and stands out. Make your nails look stands out. It looks very special. Well, then we use a brush to tap off the excess. As you can see, the nail surface is very smooth because our powder just smooth with correct sizes. Not too fine and not too clumpy. Well, I think we need to repeat the previous step, apply the base again. We're gonna do the same style. Just still use the three colors to do the ombre. Well, then we come to the pink color. Finally is the solid white. Use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Then we apply the second coat. Well, for our base, when you receive and open it, it is without no stringy look and no caking. You can use it very well. And then we sprinkle the powder on. And then finally the solid white. Use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Well, now we finish the third layers. Well, then we come to the second nail. Repeat the steps before. Apply the base. Don't apply too much or too less. Otherwise, the powder, when you dip your fingers into the color powder, it will get clumpy. And the surface just becomes so uneven. Well, use a brush. Now we're gonna use the pink color and white color. to do this ombre. Well, apply the base again. Brush it evenly from middle left to right. Well, use a small brush to sprinkle the pink powder on. Just sprinkle them and tap, tap, tap. Then we come to the white color. Well, when you apply the powder on, just do as quickly as you can. Use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Well, as you can see, we still need to create the third layer because we are doing the ombre. We have to make it not so opaque. We have to make the nail surface look very full. So we have to apply 3 layers. Well, finally, the solid white. Just use a brush to sprinkle it on. Well, make sure the powder well apply on the nail plate. Use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Well, then we come to the second hand. We're gonna repeat those steps before. As you can see, our fast drying dipping powder also can make a perfect ombre. Apply the pink powder on. It can dry within 30 seconds, so the two colors won't mess up with each other. So that we can create a very perfect ombre blending. But repeat the same step, apply the base again. Make sure every time you brush it evenly. And let the base get on the cuticle area. Otherwise, it will your whole nails will get lifting. Well, just tap it off. Brush off the excess. Well, then we apply the third coat. Just a very thin layer when you apply the base. And use a small brush to sprinkle the powder on. Just tap, tap, tap. Use a brush to help you brush off the excess. As you can see, after 3 layers, the nail surface looks very full, the color very full pigment. So that we can start another nails. Well, for our fast drying dipping powder, the biggest difference is of it from regular ones, that is, we don't need any activator to make the powder dry. Our powder can dry itself within 30 seconds. And you can directly e-file when you dip color powder 2 times. Well, now we come to the solid color. We just use the French white to do the white color. Well, apply the base again. Then we dip into the white powder. Stay for a while and let the powder well absorb with the base. Tap it off. Well, then we come to another hands. Use the base again. Apply very evenly. Dip into the pink color and stay for a while. And let the powder well stick on the nail surface. Use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Apply the base again. Well, dip into the color powder, stay for a while, and let the powder well adhere to the nail surface. Brush off the excess. Well, but then we're gonna do the white color on this hand. Just a solid white. Well, and some clients will complain that why their nails just popping off when the nails are done after a few weeks. I think it's because you don't do the preparation very well. I think that is a very key point because you want your powder well stick on the nail plate, so you have to do the push back the cuticles area and make sure you cut off the dead skins and cuticles around the cuticle area. If you can do like this, I think we can make sure the nails can last at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks if you are doing the whole process very well. As you can see, we only did 2 layers when it comes to the solid color. Well, we're gonna do the pink, solid pink. Apply the base again. Dip into the pink color. Stay for a second. Tap it off. Use a brush to help you. And then we apply the base again. Make sure you stir the powder well before you dip into it. Well, dip into the color powder, stay for a while, and let the powder well react with the base. Then we use a brush to help you brush off the excess. Well, after using the dip powder, make sure you keep the caps tightly closed. I think we have already done the 10 fingers. So here we remember that we don't need to apply any activator before filing or buffing. Well, let's clean the decks so that we can start our filing and buffing. Well, as you can see, so far we don't apply any activator on because our powder, fast-drying dipping powder, can dry within 30 seconds. You can just e-file or when you dip the powder 2 times. It's saving your time and easy to get your nails done. Well, as you can see, we're gonna use the drill machine. First, we come to the nail plate, and then we come to the cuticle area. Just file any places that goes clumpy or uneven, and to make your nail surface look very smooth. Well, I also want to remind you guys that our limited time lining deal. It is on 25th of August from 3:35 p.m. to 9:35 p.m. If you're watching our live stream now, I think it is right at our live stream time, the lining deal. So I think you can directly go to the Amazon and buy this kit. It is very popular because you can use it for ombre or French nails because we got 2 French pinks in this kit. And you can also have the clear powder But for our clear powder, you can also check it out from our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder Accessory Kit. But for our fast drying dipping powder, it won't be affected by any room temperature. You can use it in winter or summer. The powder still can dry within 30 seconds. And when you are using our fast drying dipping powder and our dip gloss, we can make sure that no cracking and color never fade, and we can make sure the nails last for 2 weeks. For our fast drying dipping powder, we got 108 colors, total like 18 cakes. And we are going to release more and more products. So you can just keep an eye on it on our Facebook. You can also join our Facebook book group, and you can know more information in time. And then we're gonna use a nail file to shape your nails. You can also find it from our accessory kit. Well, you can use it to smooth your nail edge and nail plate and make your nail surface smooth and look shine. It is also a very important step because it can make your nails look more even and shiny when we finally apply the top coat on. But remember, you still need to file the cuticle area. Just turn this nail file to different angles to shape the nails. But remember that do not over filing or buffing. For our fast drying powder is smooth enough, not too fine, so we don't need to file or buff a lot, just slightly. And remember that we're gonna use this nail file to do the shape every time. And you can use it to create different nail shapes, just you like. But remember that we don't need to apply any activator before the filing. If you apply too much activator, it might cause your nails get cracking. So you have to pay more attention to this step. For our fast drying dipping powder is totally different from any other brand powders in the market. So you have to pay more attention to the way of application. Well, then we use the buffer to make your nail surface look smooth. Well, and when you do the buffing, it's better to use your 2 fingers to help you to protect the cuticle area, so that your skins won't get hurt. Just remember that do not over filing or buffing. When you use our fast drying dipping powder, it's saving your time because we don't need to apply the activator and then let the powder dry within a while. It can just dry within 30 seconds. And when you finish your 10 fingers, the powder is already dry. So you can just directly start the filing. And if you are doing the whole process very well, and we can make sure your nails can last at least 2 weeks. Well, then we come to another nails. Well, for any solid colors, we don't need to apply the clear powder to cover the nail surface because for our powder is already full pigment. It's full pigment already. So we don't need to apply the clear powder on to cover. But for the nails with nail art designs like decals or some transfer foils or some decals, you have to apply the clear powder on. And if you cannot find your clear powder on this kit, you can just find it on our accessory kit. For our accessory kit, we got the dip tray for French nails and the clear powder and the nail file and buffer and a small brush and some nail tips for you to try your scotch. Then we come to another hands. Use a buffer to slightly buffing. Well, and for our fast drying dipping powder, it won't be affected by any room temperature. So actually, some clients just complain that when they are using other brands' powder, for the powder and the top coat both can dry very slowly. So when you change into our powder, it's not gonna happen because our powder can dry within 30 seconds, and when you are using our top coat, it can dry within 1 minute and double shiny. Well, actually, before we have used this kit to do the French nails before. If you want to know how to do the French nails very well, you can just check out our tutorials from YouTube or Facebook. You can find more and more multiple designs nail art. And you can just choose what you like. Well, and so for today's tutorials, we're gonna do the ombre. Show you guys how to do the ombres and the decals. Well, as you can see, even we use the buffer to file the nail surface, it won't get marble because our powder is full pigment already. And when we finish the filing and buffing, we are going to apply the activator on. And for our activator, it's also a unique formula, and it don't have a very strong smell. It don't look like any other brand's activator. And I want to remind you guys that we only need to apply one-time activator in the whole process. So when you receive our kit, just follow our tutorials or our instructions to follow the steps. We'll use a brush to help you brush off any darks on the nail plate. Brush off any dark particles. If you're doing like this, when you apply the top coat on, you will make sure the nail surface looks very shiny and smooth. And it will not have some spots on it. So this is also a key point. Well, and then we are doing the decals now. Just choose whatever you like and just put it on the nail plate. It is very easy and can make your nails look very elegant and special. Well, use your hand to press it. Make sure it adheres on your nail plate. Well, we're gonna select the second one. And press it and let it well stick on. Well, we're gonna repeat this step. Remember that every time when you put your decals on, you have to apply the clear powder to cover it and protect the nail surface. Well, then we pick up the second one and just press it and let it well stick on the nail plate. Well, as you can see here, we need to apply the activator now. But for our activator, it's a very strong smell. Remember that don't apply too much activator. Otherwise, it will easily cause the cracking problem. We only need to apply one-time activator in the whole process. And now let's come to the top. We need to apply the top coat 2 times. And the first layer is a very thin layer. Just brush it evenly and make sure it won't touch the cuticle area. And here is the trick. When the first layer gets matte but still sticky, at that time we need to apply the second coat. It can make the top coat dry and double shiny if you are doing like this way. Well, repeat the steps. Apply the activator on. Well, for the activator, it's very easy to volatilize. So you have to keep your caps very tightly closed for every time when you use it. Well, apply the first layer. Remember, the first layer is a thin layer. Do not apply too much. Well, stay for a while. And when you check it out, the nail surface gets matte, you can start to apply the second layer. And by this way, you can make sure the top coat double shiny. As you can see. And for our top coat, it can be dried within 1 minute. It is faster than any other brand's top. It is also a unique formula for our brand. And next, we're gonna pick up some it is still the decals, but it looks like striping. We just put it on and let it well stick. Again, repeat the steps and press it. Use a twister to help you. Then we come to another hands. Use a twister to pick up the decals. Just put it on anywhere you want. It is very easy to apply. Remember that every time when you put your decals on, you have to apply 1 layer clear powder to protect the nail surface. And then we just apply the activator on. And then we come to the top coat. Here finally, we also have a deck coat. Well, then we start to apply the first layer of top. The first layer is a very thin layer. Do not apply too much. And make sure you brush it very evenly. Do not touch the cuticle area. Well, and when it gets matte but still sticky, we need to apply the second coat. For our top coat, it can dry within 1 minute and double shiny. If you're following our steps, we can make sure of that. And then we just use a twister to pick up a deck coat and just put it on. Well, then we come to the second hand. We'll repeat those steps, apply the activator on. Because the nail surface, as you can see, the decals is well sticky on the nail plate. So actually, and it is very small, so we don't need to apply the clear powder on. I think it is sticky now. And when it gets matte but still sticky, we can start to apply the second layer. Don't forget the nail edge. And we just put the decal on and let it well stick on the nail bed. But remember that we only need to apply one-time activator in the whole process. And the activator is to make the top coat get dry and double shiny. In general, we just apply the activator on 3 fingers. And when we finish the 3 fingers, we can apply the top coat on. Our first layer is a very thin layer. Remember, every time after you use the Decals, keep your cap tightly closed so that you can use it for a long time. Well, when we finish 3 fingers, we come to the first one and apply the second layer. Well, make sure you brush it very evenly. As you can see, it looks double shiny. Apply the second coat. Well, repeat the steps before. Apply the first layer. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the second layer now. While using the activator, we only use one-time activator after we finish the filing and buffing. This step is to make the top coat get dried and double shiny. Well, we start to apply the top coat now. Make sure you apply it to your entire nail and brush it evenly. Don't forget the nail edge, because if you are doing like this way, the nails won't get lifting. Well, when we've applied the first layer and it gets matte but still sticky, we can start to apply the second coat. Remember, we don't need to wait the first layer of top coat dry completely, then we apply the second coat. We have to wait it half dry, then we can start to apply the second. You cannot wait it completely dry. If you're doing like this way, the top coat won't get dry itself. As you can see, the second coat, it looks very shiny, super shiny. Wow, as you can see, the nails looks very gorgeous and elegant. You can try it and DIY at home. So now we're done the nails. See you guys next time, and thanks for your watching.